Alright guys, we got a 2015 Kia Soul. We're gonna replace the battery. So I'm sorry, not the battery, the belt. Here's the belt, micro V. There's the part number right there. Number below that, and there's inches, 13 by 16 by 51 inches, 20 millimeter, 1293 millimeter. Those are the numbers right there, 1297. Okay, so what we're gonna need is a long ratchet with a 12 millimeter socket, a swivel, and a long extension. This goes on top of that, just like that. And I got me a 12 millimeter because you can work with that. It's gonna be a little bit rough, but here it is. Here's our belt. This belt is dried up. Okay, it makes a sound. Anyways, to take off this belt, what we need to do is, it's going to be hard to see, but there's a bolt right down here. Okay, this is the tension right here. So this is the 12 we're going to be turning. But prior to that, we need to loosen the 12 that's right below here. Let me just show you guys that. My camera's only going to go there. We're probably not going to reach our hands on there. But let's see if this can capture it. You see that 12 right there under this little long bolt? So that's what we're gonna loosen that up first. But prior to that, let's grab some WD-40. I like to throw some WD-40 because sometimes those bolts will not turn and the phone rings. Okay, so let's throw some WD-40. And okay, so the little bolt I showed you, what I want to do is I want to turn that counterclockwise. It's 12 millimeter. And just a couple of turns. What that's gonna do is it's gonna loosen up the main bolt. That's the straight bolt over here we're looking at right here. Okay, one. Okay, so small little turns. Okay. You're not gonna have no space from the bottom. You're not gonna be able to take nothing off. So this is how it's gonna be. Couple of turns. Once it's loose, we should be able to turn the bigger bolt. Okay, once this little bolt down here is loose, you did about a few turns. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put our swivel onto this little guy right here, right down there. That 12 right there. Right now you're looking at right on the left hand top corner of the screen. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this swivel with the 12 millimeter on it, and we're gonna turn this baby counterclockwise, and this is what's gonna release the belt, the tension on the belt. And it's gonna be a little bit tricky. So this baby's gonna come down. If your bottom bolt is not loose, your tension is not gonna go down. Okay, so I forgot one more thing. We are gonna have to loosen up. I haven't done one of these in a long time. We're gonna have to loosen up this 14 millimeter on the alternator, which is down here. Just loosen it like about 3 threads. This little guy right here. Okay, so this is the bolt right down here. It's a 14 millimeter. When I got me a deep socket here, I'm gonna turn this counterclockwise. Okay, the deep is gonna be trouble because of that bracket. Okay, engine mount. But anyways, once this is loose, your alternator should be able to drop down as you turn this bolt. Okay, and sometimes it won't drop down, so you have to give it an assist and you have to push it a bit down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen this up completely as much as I can do, but I can't hold the camera and loosen this at the same time. I might be able to do it, but it is what it is. But our belt should eventually be super loose. Can I turn this by hand? Yep, I can turn this even by hand now. But if you can, most of the time you won't be able to turn it by hand. But let's see how far can I go with this. Anyways, there you go. So you see how the alternator moves up and down now? That's how it's supposed to be. Let me go a little bit more down. A little bit more down. So you should be able to do this at home, okay? All you need is a 12 millimeter, 14 millimeter. Doesn't have to be crazy expensive tools. Sometime after you install your belt, the belt can squeak. Not today, not tomorrow, or the following day. Then what you need to do is give it a little bit more, maybe 3-4 more threads, or more tightening, meaning pulling it up, going the other way around once the belt is installed. So make sure you have a diagram of this belt. So this belt pretty much goes down straight to the compressor. It comes around the crank and it comes back around up the water pump. And that's how simple this belt is. It's easy routing. So let's remove this belt. So, and you always want to compare this. Okay, you see how it goes around the crank. On the crank, it has a lot of numbers right there for the timing marks. So it's gonna give you a little bit of trouble there. The compressor shouldn't be a problem. Should not be a problem on the compressor. And from the bottom end on the crank, should not be a problem for me. Okay. So what I want to do here is I'm gonna put my hands from back over here. I'm gonna get this baby off the crank right from over here. There you go. Very simple. I got small hand, it fits right through here. But anyways, here comes the belt. Sometimes the belt will go back on, so you're just gonna have to play around with it. There's our belt. So what you want to do is you want to take the new belt, you want to put it like pretty much together to see if it's the same length. I'm not gonna be able to do it by hand, one hand, but you just want to put these together, stretch them together, okay? And you should be able to tell if it's the same length. And then we're gonna install this belt back on. So to fix this issue with the belt, all you do is go with two hands. You don't want to bend this belt, so you just want to go around. And what you want to do is you want to go back and forth with two hands. What you want to do with this belt is you just want to keep doing that, and it should straighten up after doing it for a certain amount of times, maybe 5-10 times, and then you can check the belt if it's the same size. Okay, just to show you guys, put your belt together like that. Should be the same length. Then the older one might be shorter, but it is perfect on this little guy. Anyways, time for us to install it onto the vehicle. What you want to do is you want to send the belt in, you want to get it on the crank, AC compressor, and it's gonna come back up on the water pump. The water pump is the last place we want to put at, so it's gonna go around the water pump. And you could use something like this to put the belt all over, and something like wrong like this, you should put the belt on. Once the belt is on, I will show you guys completely, and it is going to be a little bit rough. You can also go from the bottom over here, turn the wheel. As you can see right there, everything is there. To give you guys an idea how I do this is I put this, I got the belt right there, put my arm from back away just like we took it off. So I'm going to use this long little guy, and I'm going to guide it around the crank, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the compressor. And once we get that on, it's pretty much good to go, and then we can get it on to the water pump. See how easy this works, how well this works? So long little screwdriver, you could even get a small little tubing like a brake line, or even a long stick will do. So just make sure it's smooth on all the pulleys, meaning like you see how this is sitting over here, it can't be sitting like half out or half in like this. Okay, your belt might not even go on. But anyways, this is in, so it's all good. That was very simple. I didn't even have to go from the bottom, okay? If you need to go to the bottom, you can take off the covers there, as you can see right there. But it looks pretty good. Now, when you put this on the water pump here, it should go on easily. If it doesn't, loosen up the tension a little bit more, and that should help you out. So I know the camera can't see it, but that's just how it is. So let me grab my rod here. And you don't want to poke and damage the belt, so just go smooth. It should be smooth transaction here, okay? Should be very smooth transaction. Nothing sharp is required. So you see this? So the belt doesn't go all the way. It could be that because it's off the alternator here, right here. So there you go. So now the belt is going on. You see that? It's going on. So you need to fix. If it's off and you don't have the complete tension, it is not going to go on smoothly. So I still need a little bit more of looseness on this tension. So what I want to do here is I'm going to take my 12 millimeter. I'm going to turn a little bit more, just a tiny bit, okay? And that should allow me to put this belt on to this little guy. There it goes. Almost on. And there's our belt. It's on. It's time to tighten the belt. So now if you ask me how tight the belt gotta be, I'm gonna explain to you that in details. Belt, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this belt. So one thing is as you can see on the bolt adjustment bolt, and then check the tension. I'm going to show you how to check the tension. So we're going to turn this baby clockwise now, and the belt should start to tighten up. Just make sure you know each pulley, crank pulley, AC compressor, water pump. It's a simple little belt to do. And you're going to turn. You don't want to go crazy. Will destroy the bearings on the water pump, and you want to feel the belt. What you want to do is you want to feel this belt. You should not be able to turn this hard to freaking get in here. You see how I'm pushing this belt? This belt feels nice and tight. So I'm gonna probably not go all the way to where it was originally was, because remember, that belt was stretched out, and there you go. This feels nice. Okay, if you try to twist this belt, you should not be able to twist the belt. If you try to, like, where the hell the old belt go? Okay, if you try to twist this belt while it's tight, you shouldn't be able to do. If it's belt like you should be able to do this. Okay, like a quarter of a twist to it. You shouldn't be able to do this. Okay, if you're able to do this, no good. So you should be able to just do this tiny bit. Anyways, this feels good to me. Sometimes, like I said, the customer needs to come back and readjust the belt. So this is done deal. I'm gonna switch up my tools. We're gonna take the socket, put it onto this ratchet here. What I do is now I want to tighten this. Okay, so you're tightening this bolt just like a regular bolt. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna grab the other bolt. That's all it does. It grabs the other bolt and it stops it from letting it turn or unadjust itself. So give this nice and tightness to it. It's a small little turns that I'm doing here, but anyways, you started to feel the stiffness into it. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, and it's done. Bada bing, bada boom. Double check your work. That's how simple it is. Start up the car, check it. Don't put your hands in it. Don't hurt yourself. But it's done. Okay, one step I forgot. So we're gonna use this 14 millimeter here. You do need to lock up the 14 millimeter on the alternator here. So lock that bolt up nice and tight. Yeah, definitely, I forgot about that. But sometimes you just talk too fast and move too fast. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're all done and set to go. Thank you for watching my video. So we use the 12 millimeter with this long 1/4 inch dry ratchet. This is in replacement of this. You could use this, but it's gonna be a little bit tough. You could use this. That's why I had this out. You're definitely gonna need this 14 millimeter here with a short mid-size socket or a deep socket. It's up to you. Or you can also use a wrench on that. It's up to you, because you can fit a wrench from right over here, something long, and that's all you need.